Hello everybody, up there again, got you another real quick video. Been getting a lot of questions, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go on and try to put this thing together. Loading just your straight up basic 9mm. We're going to be running the 90 grain XTP. Going to be using TiteGroup Winchester small pistol primers, mixed brass, just stuff that we have blown up on the range. With it being a Hornady projectile, of course our load data is going to come out of the Hornady book. Now, I do not recommend this. Not for somebody else, but I have messed with enough TiteGroup. I am pretty well familiar with it. So I just want to kind of give you a small breakdown of usually how I do this. This is the quickest, simplest way that I do it. Most of the time it's going to require 2 to 3 different load books in order for me to get. Alright, there's no TiteGroup up there on this 90 grain XTP. You got IMR 700X, you got Bullseye Universal, Power Pistol, and you got all them. You come right down here to the 100 grain, you got TiteGroup, and if you look right across here, the slowest one that they've got is 3.8 grains, 4.1, and then 4.3. The highest is 4.3. With these only being target loads, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right up here. I've already fooled with these enough so I can just about tell you I'm going to run 4.0 grains of TiteGroup in these projectiles. And I'm not going to get in a whole lot of detail of how I come up with a lot of that stuff like that, but just go by the book. Whatever the book says, that's what I'd say that you need to load it at. If your powder's not in the book, get a powder that's in there. Well, we're already over here. We've already got the book open up. If you look right here, just a real quick summary. The 4.0 grains, that is below anything on the minimum. So if you're going to do it, start down, especially if it's something that you're really not comfortable with. Just go on and start down pretty low, and that you don't have load data on, especially. But as you can look right here on the 100 grain full metal jacket round nose TiteGroup, it starts at the very bottom is 3.8 and it runs to 4.5. Now I know this because I've shot it and I've already done it, but just stick with the book. Well, you already got your little recipe over here, which is what I call it. Your book is open. Your case overall length is 1.070. And I just kind of write me out a little cheat sheet like that. And we've got a little bit of, like I said at the beginning of the video, I got several of these that are already primed. What I usually do with them, these was actually clean enough, so what I did is I just run them through the full length resizer. Of course, nip decapped everything. Usually I use a universal decapper, but I love this little Lee bench prime. A lot of people have problems with it. If you'll put this in there, and you can see how my hand is, if you'll let that up, my buddy Johnny's reloading, he was having some issues with his. Well, what it was, yeah, what you have to do, these little pieces right here, they're kind of split. Now I don't know if they're some kind of 2 pieces of plastic put together, but one thing that I figured out about these little I love them. They're cheap, but whenever you go and you push your primer down, if you just ease up like that, most of the time this is my rhythm. Never have any issue with it. 9mm being such a small case, I usually try not to mess with it too much in the loading blocks until I get it to this point, usually I'll just run through and just alternate them back and forth in between these little cheap dollar store containers. You know, as I work step by step and go through each and every one of them, that is just the best and cheapest way. I'm gonna get the Lee powder measure set up, get her where she's dropping 4 grains of powder, and we'll be back. Alright, we've got the little Lee powder measure set up there. I believe our scale's warmed up plenty good. Now, I can't give you no big advice on none of this stuff, but this little scale, I'm looking roughly 1/10 one way or another. We got 4 grains right there. We wanna test that a few times. And with this, especially with this TiteGroup, I always like to. It's just a plastic drum in there, guys. I like to always give it a tap. That TiteGroup's pretty sticky. Let's see if this one here will fall off. It's 4.1. That's still within 1/10. Let's try a couple more. Whatever rhythm that, if I'm using one of these, that's one thing I like about my Hornady powder drop. If I'm using one of these here, you just got to kind of try to stay in the same rhythm. And most of the time you will find out they are pretty doggone close. Even these little lead ones here. See how it's kind of fluctuating from 4.0 to 4.1. That's perfectly fine, but it finally settled back in on 4 grains. But I'm still going to leave that there. Got my little thing of brass here. And I'm going to kind of do it the same way. I believe y'all get the gist of it. I'm just going to do one more. Then I'm going to check it, which I usually do. That's why I just leave my scales out. About every 10th one most of the time. You can do it however you want to, but that looks a little heavy. Look at that little cheap Lee powder drop. How in the world do they make it work like that? Alright, first thing I like to do, even though I hand dropped all of them, I still like to take a light, make sure there's nothing real high, nothing real noticeable, nothing real low. And most importantly, that it does have powder in it. Alright guys, we're going to take this little seating die, we're going to bag it out. We're going to run her up there and expand her. Let's check that real quick first. That is about right. Let's see if we can get our settings done. Okay, that ain't done nothing here. 1.070. Alright, we're at 1.105. We're going to slowly walk down with it. Probably could have left it where it was at, but 1.86. Y'all see that? We'll go real easy with it. I didn't move it but about 3,000. Probably should have just left where that. This is kind of a new bullet to me, so we're just kind of learning this together. I'm about 10 off. Of course, I'll probably go too much. Yep, gotta drop a bullet while I'm doing a video. I felt her move that time. I hope it ain't too much. Look at that. How did we do that? 1.070. I'll set that one right there. Turn my around to my factory crimp die. We're gonna wing it. Here we go. That looks pretty good, guys. I thought I was gonna have to move it and readjust it. 1.070. Wow, 71. Close enough. Okay. Run her around here. Expander die's set pretty good. I know, I probably should put my little pin back in there, but I ain't going to. Woo! Well, that one went short on us. Let's see what we got here. Not too, let's see. Let me ease this out just a tad. And all this is mixed brass too, so. Let's see what my bullet seating die set up at. Yeah, I'm getting some, it's a little short. And a lot of that could be from the if I can get it right around in there, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, with all this, we're going to have a pretty good variance in it. I'll do one more and then we'll give them the test here. Just to make for sure that we're in good shape here. Alright, give me just a minute, guys. Alright, guys. She's a plunking, and we can try it in our little block here. This setting should be fine. Hear that clunk? There's your plunk test and your alignment test. I would be willing to say we're ready to rock and roll. Alright guys, let's check our work here and see what we got. 1.070. That's exactly what Hornady said to do. So we're going good clunk. Good clunk. We're going to give her a little lineman check here. Beautiful. I would be willing to say we are ready to rock and roll. Next video we'll have you out and we'll be doing some blasting. I've got to make up a whole lot of 9mm. I got something kind of crazy coming up. But I believe that's going to cover it as far as the reloading part. We'll see y'all later. God bless you.